Hello, it's 9 o'clock on December 4th. Welcome to the weather update. We actually hit some sunshine today. Can't believe it. Look at how lucky we were. Two areas, like in the midday, right in the middle of the day, we had two areas of clouds, one to the south, one to the north, and Long Island literally just went right in between those two areas. For much of the middle part of the day, we were mostly sunny, which was not something I expected, but I was able to get out there and enjoy it because I did have my vaccine appointment today at Nassau Community College. So I got my booster shot. Very quick, very easy. I have a video of it. Well, not inside, but I have a video of me walking around the area. You can see that's what it was like in the morning, and then we had just nice blue skies after that. Look at that. Still some color out there, too. Some of these trees. There you go. Some of the maples out there still colorful on the campus of Nassau Community. And then, of course, I had to go to Eisenhower Park and say hello to this beauty right here. This beautiful pitch pine right there. Nice blue sky. I couldn't believe that we actually had some sunshine today. It was very nice. A very nice day today. For once we had a very nice day. And then toward later in the afternoon, we had a little more of these cirrus clouds kind of coming in from the south, filtering the sun. You got to remember the sun is lower in the southern sky. So, if the cirrus is off to the south, it could filter the sun. And then look at this sunset here. Incredible. Look at that. Look at the colors in those mid-level clouds there as the sun sets behind them. So, looking at the current satellite, you can see we're mostly clear once again, though I can see some cirrus possibly waiting in the wings over the Great Lakes. Looking at our current temperatures, we are generally in around the 40-degree mark. However, I see that there is already radiational cooling taking place at West Hampton, where it's 25 degrees. But the rest of us are generally in the upper 30s, 37 at Islip, and a light west wind. Let's see what we have in New Jersey here. They're seeing some radiational cooling too. 34 in Coyle Field, 32 in Lakehurst, and 36 in Toms River. So they're going to get some radiational cooling probably with just cirrus and light winds and low humidity. Dew points generally in the probably around the 30-degree mark, though some areas might be a little lower. Let's take a look at our highs and lows for the day. Starting off with the lows. West Hampton got down to 24 this morning. 28 in Manaville, 34 at Islip. Those are generally mid-30s, but again, in some of the cooler areas, even in Old Brookville, you had upper 20s, 28 and 29. City, cold, pretty chilly there, 37 for a low. Let's see what kind of radiational cooling the Pine Barrens in New Jersey got. Let's see if they were able to beat West Hampton. No, they weren't. It was warmer there. They had mid to upper 30s. Probably a little more cloud cover kept the lid on it over there. Let's take a look at the high temperatures for the day. And let's get those high temperatures on there. This site sometimes just wants to be temperamental. 45 at Ronkonkoma and at MacArthur Airport. A little warmer in central Nassau County, 48. There was a sea breeze in the 45 in West Hampton. So generally mid to upper 40s across Long Island. Close to 50 in the city. LaGuardia got up to 49. Let's see if it was even warmer in New Jersey. I see some 49-degree readings in Toms River, so maybe a tad warmer there. And that's because, again, we had that sea breeze influence throughout the day. If we click on Islip, for instance, you'll see. Well, I'll have to move this back to this. But if you click on Islip, and we'll see if we go here, you'll see that the wind was from the south earlier on. So, had a sea breeze develop in the afternoon. Winds came from the south, but now they're kind of shifting to the west once again as that clipper, that little disturbance passed off to the south. It's very weak. So let's take a look at models and what we have coming up as far as the weather goes for the rest of the weekend. Should be decent. We have this weak high pressure building in for tomorrow. Should keep us dry. Moves offshore. We get this return flow of warm and humid air for Monday. And this is going to be a strong cold front that we're going to have to watch from Monday afternoon to the evening. Could be a thunderstorm potential with that. And then behind that, high pressure builds in, another weak high pressure system, colder air. And then we have to watch this storm here, which seems to be trending a little colder now. So it has a closer to the borderline here of rain and snow. Snow just to the north of Long Island there, with the storm trending more and more further to the south, a stronger high pressure to the north, keeping the cold air in. We may wind up getting maybe some snow. I don't get your hopes up yet, but we'll have to see if this continues the next couple of runs here. And then behind that, got a little high pressure that's going to build down with some more cold air, and then another Great Lakes type of storm for next Sunday here, which could bring some rain. And then that looks like some cold air building in as we get finally into the middle of the month. We're going to start seeing some more of the more below normal weather, but it's not really going to be all that warm. The model's kind of we have basically one really warm day, and that's going to be it. So here's Sunday, pretty close to normal. Seeing that warm air surge up the East Coast ahead of that cold front on Monday. And then behind the front, we're close to normal on Tuesday and close to normal on Wednesday, maybe a little bit below. Here's Thursday, colder air in place. So you can see the colder air kind of stays in place. And then we get another warm burst Saturday and Sunday especially. That could be really warm. Look at how above normal that is. That's going to be a strong LLJ. And then behind that, some more cold air coming in, colder air, though not terribly cold. It will knock us below normal for a little bit, and then it looks like it builds more warmth again as we go into the long range. And again, we're going to look at the jet stream right now. We'll pull this out to North America and look at the jet stream here. 50 MB winds. So here is the jet stream as we head into tomorrow. You can see it's sort of a zonal flow, but you can see there's that trough that develops for your Monday into Tuesday, but you can see it's just a very weak trough, and then it kind of just dissipates. Then another trough comes through with the next low, and this one's going to be a little deeper, so that's why if it's forming far enough offshore, we're going to have to watch that. That dissipates, and then you can see we get kind of in a zonal flow, but here's a bigger trough Sunday, a really big trough, and then some cold air behind it, but then you can see generally the jet stream is not really in a pattern that's conducive to any extended periods of cold, but we will have a few cold days here and there and a few really warm days with this pattern that we got. So let's take a closer look now and look at our, let's go to the temperatures, I guess. We'll do that. And we'll go ahead and look and see what's going to happen. The HRRR, I could go, let's go to that one first with the temperatures and see what the 0Z HRRR is going to give us. And then we'll go to the GFS. So tonight, we're probably going to drop into the probably around the 30-degree mark, but those colder areas like West Hampton, they're already in the 20s, and that's where they're going to be probably. Sunday, tomorrow, we'll probably be in the mid-40s, similar temperatures to today, cooling down at night, but then the clouds roll in, temp south winds pick up. And Monday, you can see the warmth coming in, especially in New Jersey, where you're going to get above 60 degrees. Long Island probably should stay mid to upper 50s. But if we look at the dew points, I want to show you the dew points here, because this kind of shows you the wind flow again. You can see the wind flow from the north, light from the north, and becoming northeast to east, then going southeast, south, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I should say, southeast, and then you can see the wind flow goes more to the south to southwest, but there's enough of a southerly component that the air traveling over, going over Long Island has some cooling effect from the ocean, whereas in New Jersey, you're not going to see that at all. And then there's that front approaching, and if we look at the radar, you can sort of see this line here that's developing. So we're going to have a better idea of what this line is going to do tomorrow. But you can see as far as precipitation goes, we're dry tomorrow, but then you can see some scattered shower activity overnight, overnight, late Sunday night into Monday morning, then a break, and then we have to watch this front as we head into the evening. And right now it's just too far in advance, but I do see that V shape here. So this is a little, again, a concern when you see the isobars doing this V shape here. You see this? Yeah, that is a sign of a strong cold front that could have the potential for severe thunderstorms. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this for sure, possibly, especially given the kind of temperatures and dampness we're going to have ahead of that front. And I'm going to look at the GFS now. Actually, let me go to the NAM. The NAM is not going to take us any further out. I can go to the NAM 12, which doesn't really show anything that impressive, but we really have to wait. I think we're going to have a better idea tomorrow night. I really do. So I'm not going to go nuts trying to look for information that we just don't have right now at this point. Let me go back to the GFS, and we'll go ahead and look at our temperatures. All right, so on the GFS, you could sort of see that warmth again. It really shows up how much warmer it is over New Jersey because, again, you have that warm air that's just coming in from the south. It's traveling all over land, but for us, it travels over the ocean, which is a little cooler, even though the water temperatures are above normal. It cools us down a little bit on Long Island compared to New Jersey. And then this front moves through, and you can see, look at that stark difference in temperature there. We go from New Jersey is going to go from the 60s to the 40s in a matter of an hour, probably or two. And then we drop into the 40s and then 30s later on Monday night. By Tuesday morning, we are only in the low 30s, and we're struggling to reach the low 40s on Tuesday, according to the GFS. Here comes that next system, and you can see, look at how close this is. So it keeps the cold air a little more around. We may have to watch out for some snowfall, perhaps. And again, it's too early to tell with this, but that could be a potential, and you can see it gets really cold behind that. We're only in the 30s on Thursday, folks. And Friday, we're still pretty chilly, starting to slowly warm up. And then here comes the next bout of warm air that the GFS shows. And you can see it starts warming up Saturday, and then look what happens Sunday. Sunday is really going to be quite warm, and that's going to be another strong cold front where we can all get into the mid-60s. 70 possible in New Jersey. And yes, there will be humidity with it, too. If we show the dew points, you'll see. Very strong LLJ, very strong wind gusts with this. Obviously, this is a ways out, but we're going to have to watch this very strong LLJ event. If we look at the total winds here, let's do that. You can see some pretty strong winds out over the ocean. Of course, this is a week away. Let's look at the winds for your Monday. Not quite as impressive. We won't see that kind of very strong LLJ. But again, we're going to have to watch that severe weather potential, that thunderstorm potential, at least the thunderstorm potential, if not a severe thunderstorm potential for your Monday afternoon, probably more likely Monday evening, like maybe 7, 8 o'clock. Let's now go to the skies. I guess that'll be the next thing we can look at here. Well, actually, I want to go back to the precipitation. Let's do this. Get a closer look at that storm for now what we have is the GFS to work with this far out. GFS and the icon, generally the global models. But you can see, look at how close that rain snow line is just to our north. And some areas just to our north could get snow on the ground, which would look real pretty with some Christmas lights. Let's see what it's doing for total snowfall here. And you can see it just gives us like barely an inch, but just to the north, look at this. Just to the north, on the other side of Long Island Sound, it could be putting 9, 10 inches down. So again, with that cold air in place, that storm track a little more offshore, this could be a snowfall for your Wednesday, perhaps. Perhaps a snowfall, perhaps. The only other models we can look at right now would be the ICON, which... Let's see how the ICON also trends this storm to the south, which is interesting. So what does the ICON put out, which is similar to the European model? Yeah, it doesn't seem to put out as much. It seems lighter than it should be. That's for sure. Let me go back to GFS. And one thing's for sure, this is going to be a lot of rainfall with this. Look at total accumulated precip. This storm here on Thursday is going to be giving us at least an inch of rain. I mean, not Thursday, but Wednesday. The Wednesday into Thursday storm could be giving us an inch of rain. As far as the first, the rain for Monday, probably not all that much. So, now that we're done with that, let's go and look at the skies. And look at the skies and see when we're going to get. We got lucky today, but will we get lucky tomorrow? It seems to think there's going to be some cirrus around, but maybe, look at that. It's so trying to show a break, maybe. Maybe we'll get a break in the afternoon. Maybe. Then beyond that, obviously the clouds for Monday. Though we could see that sun come out in the afternoon. Front comes through. Here we are Tuesday, and we might have a clear day on Tuesday, perhaps. But you can see clouds from the next system trying to stream in, and that's the problem when you have this zonal flow. That's what you see right there. I'm going to go to another model here for the sky NAM. I'll go to the NAM here. Here is the NAM for tomorrow, and this is the 18Z run. Again, not really showing a whole lot of cirrus here, so maybe we can get away with a mostly sunny day. There'll be sunshine. It just will it be a nice blue sky or not? That's the question. As far as Tuesday goes, this far out, it's really kind of hard to tell. I can look at the lower resolution GFS here, which obviously is lower resolution, and it's really hard to tell here. It could be some cumulus, and then beyond that, we'll be dealing with the clouds from that storm. And then Thursday, well, it's really hard to tell when it would be. The GFS is a low resolution model, so even if there's just scattered clouds, it may make it look worse than it actually is. I mean, look at this for tomorrow. I mean, this is overdone. So I think that's way overdone. All right, not done yet. We're gonna have a little fun here. We're gonna go to windy.com next and look and see what the European is doing with that storm for Wednesday, because that, again, is quite impressive to see. So let's go to this, and we move this to Wednesday. This is the European model. So it's got some light snow breaking out over us. It looks like we're just on the edge of it. And again, but you can see that coastal getting orange. So this is a coastal storm we are going to have to watch. Let's go to new snow. Next 3 days. All right, I think I got to go to the next 5 days. Not really showing. I think it would be next 5 days. Not really showing a whole lot. Some areas in New England, but again, this we're going to have to keep an eye on this storm for sure. As far as the event for your Monday, well, I mean, it's just we don't have as much. I mean, I can look and see what this is saying. This is the event 2 sky. Which does use the HRRR. And this, again, is, look at that warmth over Jersey. You can see Long Island is cooler, but Jersey is going to get quite warm. Here's 2 o'clock. Jersey is going to get into the mid-60s. We're going to probably be in the mid to upper 50s. But the concern, of course, is those thunderstorms when that front gets closer. So we can look at the thunderstorm threat as far as Cape goes. I don't really see that much showing up here, but this is kind of far out. We can look at lifted index, and there is some lifted index here. It's weak, but again, this is misleading. We're going to have to see how this all works, because again, in this type of scenario, this far out, it's really hard to show. We can look at precipitation here. This kind of shows that front here, but again, without the HRRR, it's too far out of range, so we won't have a better idea until tomorrow what's going to happen with this front. But the potential severe weather certainly is possible. The other thing that I want to talk about, this is a weather oddity. Let's go to Hawaii. And this would be on the Big Island, so Mauna Loa. Let's see. And it doesn't want to work. All right. We'll just go to the weather.gov site. I'll do it this way because there's something weird going on in Hawaii. We actually have blizzard warnings in parts of Hawaii. That's right. There's a big storm over Hawaii, and this is causing some snow to fall. That's right. Hawaii, well, there's some parts of Hawaii that are very high up. And if we go to the GOES here, and let's see, we can go to, let's see, I don't know if they've got one for Hawaii here. Pacific, yeah, okay, Hawaii, here we go. You can see there's a storm that is moving over Hawaii, and you can see, look at this, you can see there's actually some heavy precipitation over here, and it's cold. There's some colder temperatures all over here. So if we go over here, you'll see that there's a blizzard warning in effect for parts of Hawaii. These are just the summits, all right? But they could get 8 inches of snow, winds gusting as high as 125 miles an hour. It's not unusual because these mountains are way up there, like 10,000 feet or something up there, very high up. Even though you're in the tropics, that high up, it can get cold and there can be snow on the tops of these mountains, like Mauna Loa. They have an observatory over there. I think it's Mauna Loa or Mauna Kea. They have an observatory over there where it frequently gets very cold. And it's so high up, sometimes you need oxygen too, by the way. So we can look at some of these observations here. I don't know if Mauna Loa or Mauna Kea has observations here. I do not know if they do. I'm kind of curious if they do. I don't think so, but we could possibly go to the weather and hazards map because I kind of want to look at this. So it's kind of unusual. But you can see here, this is kind of Hawaii here. It's nothing really out of the ordinary at the surface. It's a little cool, but I mean, it's on the mountains. But it's interesting that they're getting to see their first snow before a lot of other areas in the United States, like Denver. That is the unusual thing of it. But yeah, let me go to the weather and hazards map, which I'm glad I still have it up, because let's go ahead and look at Hawaii here. And also look at Alaska. It's been very cold in Alaska too. They've had some very cold weather in Alaska. We're going to talk about that too. So let's go to look at Hawaii though here. Let's see if we can get some more of these observations from these mountains. I wish. Yeah, here's one. 37 degrees, 2.33. Winds gusting to 43 miles an hour at the top of these mountains over here. It can get pretty cold. Even though you're in Hawaii, these mountains are pretty high up, and they get snow on them because they're very high up. But yeah, it's kind of cool, actually, for Hawaii. I mean, 60s and 50s is definitely kind of cool for Hawaii. That's for sure. Looking at some of these temperatures here, and you got to remember, it is still like daylight out, I believe, over where they are at. So you could see it's quite cool for them. Dew point's pretty low, too. So that far out in the Pacific is pretty impressive, to say the least. But the other thing that we want to talk about is some of the cold weather that's been going on in Alaska. If you look at some of these places like Fairbanks, for instance. Fairbanks, here you go, negative 22. And then they've just had some very cold weather up there. All the cold air is locked up north. You can see, look at these, negative 35, negative 35, negative 41. So very cold up aloft. Very cold up in the Arctic. All the cold air is just locked up there. It's trapped up there. You see negative 32. Literally. Sunny skies. Maybe some precipitation from time to time. Sometimes they have diamond dust when it's that cold, but that's pretty impressive, to say the least. That is some pretty cold weather, and if you, again, go to the Ventus sky here, we have Ventus sky open already. If you go to the Ventus sky, look at temperature. We're just going to close this up here. Let's just put this to the current conditions, like right now. You can see all the cold air. Look at all this cold. It's just locked up. The jet stream just has it all locked up here. But, I mean, there's some really cold air up here. So it's just a matter of getting the jet stream to dip. And we could get into some of this. Definitely would be impressive. This is pretty chilly air. But it's all stuck in the Arctic. It's all confined to it. But it is quite cold over here. I believe that is significantly below normal. Even that is pretty cold, and I'm kind of curious. I'm going to go to Tropical Tidbits, and we're going to take a look and see how below normal that is, and then I'm going to wrap this up, because there's just some interesting stuff going on here. So if we look at our temperatures, temperature anomaly, yeah, you can see very cold. You can see all that cold air over there. It's all in that area right there. You can see it tries to come down, but it just doesn't quite make it. But that is some pretty cold air. It will moderate to some extent, but the cold air is kind of just stuck up there, you could see, because of the way the jet stream is, it just cannot make it all the way down. We can't really get into one of those frigid blasts that I love. I love those frigid blasts when we get them. You usually get nice clear skies with those. And nothing like going with the pines when it's like only in the teens, a nice blue sky. You know, the pines will look kind of blue. It's really nice, but right now it doesn't look like we're going to see any of that kind of air right now. But we still have 3 months of winter. Let's hope we can make it happen. But that's going to be it for this weather update. Take care, and thanks for watching.